I'm Xavier Mondello. Today I'm going to be showing you how to put the pedal assembly on our new Go Gliders. So, right here, right out of the box, is our pedals. So you have 3 pieces to the kit. In order to put this assembly on, we're going to remove the foot peg bracket. So I have a 6mm Allen wrench. The kit does come with its own tools, but if you have tools around the house, sometimes they're easier to use. It's pretty simple. You got 2 bolts right here on the bracket. You're just going to unscrew them, pull them out. And just like that, the bracket comes off. So in order to put the new one on, it only goes one way. You have to have the chain, which is the sprocket side, on this side of the bike. So on the opposite side of the brake, in order for it to work correctly. So we're going to take those same bolts and we're just going to put it right back on with the new bracket. There's washers on both sides of the bolts, so we want to make sure we have those on there so it's nice and snug. Alright, so we have the bracket for the chain and the pedal assembly on. That quick. As you can see, it's locked into place. Just these 2 bolts right here, and you're good to go. So next, we'll be putting on the sprocket and the chain. Can you see the table? We'll be putting on the sprocket and the chain. Fairly simple also. Here's the chain, and here is the connector to put the chain together when we're finished putting the bracket on. So in order to put the back bracket on for the chain, we're going to have to remove the back wheel. Like I said, it does come with tools to do it with. If you have your own tools at the house, it's a 15mm socket and wrench. We're just going to unloose the back nuts on both sides. On your right side, the kickstand can come off, and just set it to the side and you can put it right back on when you're done. And on these back wheels, when we take them off, we have the lock nuts that lock the tire into place. When you do put your pedal assembly on, you will no longer need these because you'll want to be able to adjust your wheel back and forth for the tension on the chain. So you won't need those anymore. But if you do later on decide that you want to take the pedal assembly off and put it back onto the pegs, I would keep those just so you can lock the rear tire back into place. Now on this side of the bike, you have the brake. So after you remove the two nuts in the back, you'll have to take the brake off, which is very simple. You just have these 2 screws right here. So we're going to We're going to unconnect that with a Phillips head screwdriver. Yeah, can you pause it?
Oh.
So we'll just remove these two nuts right here. You'll definitely want to keep these bolts because they go right back on. So here we just slide the wheel back. We add the bracket. So you want the riding to be on the outside of the bicycle. You simply just screw it on.
Can't see you screwing it on.
See.
Yep.
And you just simply screw it on. So it won't spin backwards because when you put the chain on, the movement of the bike spins forward. So it locks spinning backwards. That way when the chain does go around, it cannot come undone. So you'll just want to put that in there snug, nice and tight, and put the wheel right back on. Come back up here and you connect your brake again. Remember the two bolts I told you to make sure you hung on to? Goes on top, doesn't it? Alright, stop it. We're going to connect this bracket back for the brakes. and we'll put the nuts back on for the back tires. We won't tighten those all the way down right now. We'll just put them on a little bit snug, so that way when we put the chain on, if we need to adjust it, we can just slide it forward and backwards. Alright, so with the chain, get it unwind. You see it's separated right now, and what we'll do is we'll just come over this, come over this, come down in between, and you can just pull it. Make sure it's on real good, and come up to a point it's easier for you to access, and we just put the clip on. We put this back bracket on, and we put the last piece, which is a lock pin. You slide it onto the back and push it forward, and it clicks in, locking the chain into place. Sometimes these things have a little bit of grease on them and they get a little bit slippery, so just bear with me. Alright, and so to adjust the chain, you can just simply pull the rear wheel back a little bit, and you'll also want to leave the brake loose so that you can pull it back as well. That moves with the assembly. Go ahead and stop. So now we have the chain on. You can slide the rear wheel forward and backwards to make it a little bit tighter. So we want it nice and snug. So about right there looks good. You'll go ahead and you'll lock the lug nuts in the back down. And just like that, you've got a pedal system. So now the last part, which is the simplest part, we just screw these pedals right on. As you can see, they've got the threads right here, and we'll just screw them right into these holes. Take your wrench. Stop it. Just finishing up tightening these pedals and get them on there nice and tight. And you have assembled the pedal assembly on the Go Glider that quick. So you want to make sure after you get done that your back brake still works properly. And when the adjustment on that, as you can see from this angle, is just this bolt right here. It slides back and forth. The only reason we had that loose is so that when we slid the wheel, that this slides with it. That does not affect the braking mechanism at all. But just to be on the safe side, you will always want to check your brake, and as you see, it stops on a dime. This is the tension of the chain that you would want, and like I said, to adjust that, it's simple as these two back bolts on your rear wheel, and you can just slide it back and forth. So in the beginning I had mentioned the lock nuts. You do not need these once you put your pedal assembly on, because when you do adjust the rear wheel for the tension of the chain, this will not allow you to do so. These are meant to be on there without the pedal assembly. The wheel is now stabilized by the chain, so it cannot slide off. The tension will not allow it, so you don't have to worry about having these lock nuts on. So when you flip the bike over, now that it's assembled and the chain is on, you'll want to check the tension, and that is about how you want it. Just a little bit of play, and it will have a good bite when you do pedal the bike. And that is how you install the pedal assembly on our new Go Glider. Pretty easy and simple. And if you have any questions, you can always visit our website or call us anytime. Hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you for choosing GlideBikes.